In this video, Henry is possessed by the legendary animators and decided to create a really badass traditional animation showing how to do a rough pass in order to create this three-headed mutant chihuahua screaming like crazy. Enjoy the video. Let's get started. And I'm having here a layer that is called rough animation. And here I'm going to do a super rough sketch of what I want these characters to be doing. For example, I'm going to start with this one, super random, because I want to have fun. I want to enjoy the process. I don't want to feel like, ew, I need to get stuck into this way of thinking. No, I'm just, dude, I'm feeling the characters. I'm trying to think about the acting of all of these dudes. First of all, what is the intention of this character here that is crazy? This character here, I want this to be like doing something like that. So yeah, here I love it. I have a sketch there. This is going to open the mouth. But maybe before opening the mouth, I can go down. I can go down and experiment. And something that I'm going to do is I'm not going to press play. I'm not going to press play until I finish the rough pass, so I let myself be surprised by what is happening here. So here, for example, "Rrr, rrr," the teeth, the ears will go that way. Boom, boom, boom. Here is dragging this way. So I'm just letting my hand feel loose here, just go crazy. Here, for example, I want to be like, so I'm going to create an arc there down, and then before going towards the front, here just go like this down and back, down and back. So I create a rounded movement there. Then here we can go up. There you go. And I see I am not pressing play because I'm going to just let my brush, my hand create some crazy stuff that I will let myself feel impressed by. Henry, what the heck are you talking about? And I'm like, you will see, baby boo, you will see. Tuki tuki, boom. So, doom, tune. And this one over here. And then here the ears. Oopsie, here the ears now will change, and this will be something like this. Shroom. It's like, "Roar." And then here I want to overshoot, so I'm going to create a new drawing, and I'm also moving this head up, so it's going to be like, "Roar," pushing this shape, not that much. So I'm going to track this, open that. Crazy. Dude, look at that. Zoom. Toon, toon, toon. Up, up. And then I follow the ears with the movement that it's doing. Dragging up, dragging up. Zoom, 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 zoom. So it's like, roar. And then I want here to close again. I want to close, go down and close. I'm going to copy and paste this frame, duplicate that one, so I can draw on top of this and make the mouth go bit more close. Tuki 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 tuki. Boom boom boom. And here the ears can do something like this. Tuki tuki tuki, something like this. So we have like roar, roar. We might need to slow out from here to here, so I might add another frame. And I'm going to, and see, the idea of this rough pass that I'm doing is to complete the rough pass. Is to complete the rough pass. Is that I'm finishing the entire animation on this layer. And if I feel I need more stuff, I can add it here. So, poo poo poo. Tuku tuku tu. These ears will move here now. Something like this. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. Now, here, roar, and then here, I want to slow out there and maybe also squash here. So I'm going to grab all of these, move down, grab the head and squash this head down like that. And move the mouth so it feels like it's closing a little bit. Cool. Okay. Now, maybe it's a good time to start play on this and look at what we have. Here I might want to add a slow out so it doesn't feel abruptly that it's moving that way. So we're going down like that, Tuki. Something like this. Tuk 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 tuk. So we have that way. Okay. Awesome. Now let's play this to see what will happen. Okay. Roar. 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 Okay, like that. Roar. I can stretch this a bit more. I can move this down like that. Roar. Roar. And then I want to have something like this here. So I want to make a loop now. So I'm going to rotate this. I want to make a loop around the same pose. And then here, new frame. Here, new frame. I can close it, settle to this close a little bit. Tuki. Cool. And then we go up. So here I want to hold for more frames, and here we go up. Here we slow in, up. Slow in. Roar. And then we go down, we loop here. And then we go back to this pose. Roar. And here I can add an in between. So we slow. So we have an in between there, and we go slowly there. Tuki. Awesome. Roar. 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 Now let's look at this with the rig. Roar. Roar. It's like roar. Roar. What is the idea of this scene? The idea of this scene is like showing these badass monsters going there like roar, roar, and this one being like roar, 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 roar. Oof, yeah, I would like to make it like this is going up and up, right? Roar, roar, roar. I want to do one that is going towards the front. And I can copy this, something like this. Roar. So it's like this type of games when the menu is on hold and you're in the menu waiting for the game to start. This is like some motions. So for example here, before going towards the front, wait a second. Cool. So here we go down. We go no up. Now up, 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 up. Now let's go back. Let's do this with the nose, something like this. We inflate there. We inflate there, Tuki. Move this towards the front. We move towards that like that, and then I need to slow out from here to here. So every time that I am animating, I remember that in order to go from one pose to another one, I always have to slow out and slow in towards the next pose. So I'm adding those little reminders here with my drawings. And because I know the basic rules of all of this, I can read these frames when I go to next to future. When I start working with the rig, I remember the reason that I did all of that because knowing that if I want to change a position of the character, if I want to change the position of a character, I need to do a slow out and slow in order to get there. If I already know that, once I start working with the rig, I will know why is that I took those decisions with my character. And here I can duplicate this and hold backwards for a little more. This could be up a little bit more. And then boom, we jump here in this frame, and this frame here we are going to move up and down like that, and then we're just opening this like this crazy like. And then here I can slow in, stretch this up, and then we can go down. Let me mark this as a keyframe here just to recognize, and then I can copy this loop, copy and paste that loop. There you go. Maybe I can put this on once so it feels. And then here I want to go back to the main position, to the main frame. Cool. Awesome. Now, so you know what? I want this to come first, and then I want this to go over here. Let's see how this looks. Better. Roar, 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 roar. I want to hold that. So this frame over there. Roar. Yeah, I want to hold that. So this is one loop. Second loop. Third loop. Roar. More time. So roar. Here I go. I would like to go and directly jump towards the next frame. Roar. Awesome. Roar, roar, roar. Beautiful. So it's like roar. Look at the ears. How it also changed. It's like when it goes like this, roar, the ears move only like this. Roar. And then it goes more like, so first it moves like it's staccato, like if this were like music, like tac 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 tac, and then it moves like this. Roar, 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 roar. Tac 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 tac. Roar, roar. Tac 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 tac. Roar, roar. Tac 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 tac. Roar, roar. And here instead of going up and down, I can go front, front, backwards, backwards, and down. Roar, roar, roar. Cool. That's enough. That's good for that one. Now let's create animation for the other dudes. What do I want to do on this one? Are we like so let's think how we are going to achieve that. So we have teeth here, something like that. Maybe these have to be more open. Something like that. Maybe something like this. We're going down here. Oh, yeah, we can inflate this part a little bit like that. So something like this. And then we go up here. And we're like, "Arr." So let's do all that crazy stuff here. Suki. Then the ears could be more organic, something like this, curving those lines to make it feel like we're actually moving the rig. Roar, roar. Maybe a tongue there, not too much. So we have that frame there, and this one over here, I'm going to move it around here, just to see the before and after, before in betweening there. So let's focus on the rough animation. For example, here, this dude can go down here, inflate here, move the mouth up. The eye goes down. This ear will go that way. This ear will go that way. And then from here, boom, we jump into this frame that we are like. But before jumping to this frame over here, I need to go up slowly while opening the mouth even more. Slowing out there, reducing this bump a little bit, same as this one. And then boom, we jump. Boom, we jump there. But before jumping here, let me move this one over here, because this one over here I'm going to overshoot. I'm going to overshoot here. Roar, roar. Jump there, Tuki. And then move this part of the head. So this is what I'm going to use a shift and trace. Look at here, this is a very important tool. For example, I want to track the upper part of the head over there. So I will click on the right, I'm going to click here on this right. Oh, you cannot see it. I'm going to click here on this black stuff here, this black arrow, and I'm going to press Command or Control into this into this onion skin stuff, and now I can move it. I can move it and put it where do I want to draw this layer over there. I'm getting rid of the onion skin, the red one, and I'm only drawing here. So here I'm doing something like this, and here I'm doing something like this. Tuki the eye, the hair. This, for example, this can go back, and the ears will overlap. But then I will release the shift and trace by clicking here. So the shift and trace is like I'm moving my previous and back frames there. I'm moving the onion skin actually, and I can move it wherever I wanted to move, and then I can just release the to the original position, clicking there, Tuki, and then it's there. And then here we can do something like this. Boom. And then we go back to that one. Cool. Let's look at how this will look like. Tack, tack, tack. And then here, for example, boom, I can overshoot these ears. Cool. Maybe not too much. Awesome. And then I'm going to move this one frame so I can get rid of this one, enable the onion skin, and in between here in the middle. So here I'm going to in between the middle, always flipping, even though I'm seeing the onion skin, I'm flipping. Let me reduce the onion skin. I like to work like this with the onion skin super, super soft and flipping, because even when you're working on paper, the paper has some level of transparency on it. So even if you're animating on paper, you can still see something out of the previous frame when you're working, even when the light table is off. So it's like, if traditional animators can see that, if when I work with paper I can see that stuff, then it will be almost the same as if I have turned on the onion skin for during my animation process, but in a very slight, very subtle way, super, super, super light, so it doesn't get in the way of my visualization process of me seeing all of this stuff. Here I can overshoot. Cool. Boom. Roar. So it feels like it's biting there. And the ears will go from here. Here we can slow in. So for example, we boom, we jump up, but here we need to slow in those ears. And here we need to slow in those ears too. Cool. Awesome. What the heck? Oh shoot. Okay, I'm looping this stuff. So let me just duplicate this. Cool. And then I just need to copy and paste this one over here. I know. Okay, okay. Let me just create another drawing for that head. Tom head rough. I'm going to mess up a lot if I start copying and pasting this stuff. Here's not Tom head rough. Cool. Book. Then I need a new frame here. Let's go out here to key. And now I'm going to copy and paste these frames from here to here. And then here I'm going to create a loop. And the loop will be just something like moving this mouth up and down. And then I can move this a bit towards the side. Can I have like a frame here? Screaming. I like that. I like the. Let's add a tongue there. So we're having this dude being like, then here a simple loop, opening the mouth, opening the mouth here, stretch that part there, changing also the angle a little bit that way so it feels like it's opening even more. Moving the teeth a little bit like that. Cool. Then this part of the head will stay there. The amazing thing about rational animation is that even just redrawing each one of these drawings instead of copy and paste it, it make it feel like the drawing is alive, like the lines are alive. And that's something that I'm going to try and to replicate because on my rig animation, because on the rig animation, I cannot achieve that. I cannot draw the line of the rig many times. I can put some effect to make the line move, right? But one of the tricks that I like to do is that in each frame that I'm posting my rig, I try to I try to move every part of the rig a little bit, just to create this sense of movement. So we have that, and then we go back. Here, for example, I want to slow into that pose. I'm going to slow in towards this pose. Something like this. And I'm redrawing because it's not taking too much time. And it gives this feeling of alive that I mentioned in the drawings. And then it's something that I do without expecting any result, but then as a consequence, then it looks badass. And then I'm trying to copy that result into my rig animation. And I feel like the rough pass, this is some thoughts about the rough pass. The rough pass is the moment of having a lot of fun. I think it's the most artistic or the most artistic and free step on the animation process because you can play around, you can do a lot of crazy stuff without thinking about too much in technical stuff. So here repeat and here repeat. So there's in the rough pass is supposed to be the moment in which you enter this flow state and you just try and come up with crazy amazing stuff. For example, this is something that I can add here that I didn't on my rough pass and my traditional, but I can add here with a peg and then translate the same information into my rig animation. Raw, 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 raw. Maybe move this every frame like that. Then I can copy and paste, select these to only copy and paste frames. Copy paste it here, tuki, so it feels even more crazy. This is look at that, dude. This is like now same thing that happens to me like on this other dude is like I really like the action that I animated at the end more than the one that I animated at the beginning. So what I'm going to do is change the order. I'm going to put this here, and let me I'm going to move this towards the beginning and move this at the end. And then I'll move all of this here, and I will find a way of connecting these two. Cool. So there's a way to connect these two. Look at this frame here, this frame over here, this frame over here. I can connect these two together. So it's like it's opening the mouth, then it's going down, and then boom, bites up. Boom. Look. Cool. So let's animate that. This stuff will change a little bit. This doesn't make too much sense. So yeah, this pose doesn't make too much sense. So let's rework on those ones. So we have this pose, pose A, and then we have the lower pose, pose B. This pose B, I'll have to put some more thoughts. It's not the drawings. It's not that the drawings are like bad or weird. It's like there's not thought process behind this drawing. It's like how is the neck connects with the other part. It's like there's no thought process. But because I have this frame over here, I can totally now put some thought process of okay, why do I want this character to do at this pose over here? You know what? Here I want this character to stretch like crazy. And to go down with the mouth open. But I want to open this mouth into something like crazy, like a Pac-Man. And I'm trying to see this pizza, a slice of pizza here. I'm going to try to move that slice of pizza here. Look at that, I'm stretching that slice of pizza there. I like how this is also stretching this way. That line will go that way. This will go down that way. Teeth will open that way. I'm losing some volume here, so adding volume there. Then the neck will squash and the apex will be here. There you go, we have something like this. The apex here will be here. Maybe these I would like to rotate it up. Super flat into the here, Tuki. Then this could look from the place it came from up. So it feels this dragging this way. And then this one over here, now that I have more clarity on this frame, more information on that frame, I can totally go towards this next frame here. And it can go like that. This part can drag this way. This part can drag that way. This can reduce the inflate the how much inflated is there. Can reduce this, and we can go up. So we go, and here this can go up, down that way, and this could go up this way. So we have an S this way. We have another one going that way here. Tuki. Tuki, 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 and then boom, we jump. There, Taka. Roar, 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 boom. Roar, 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 boom. And then here, I can totally grab this. But no, look at this trick that I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to create a new drawing here. So, oopsie, no. From here to here, I need a new drawing there. So, Tuki, in between this, inflate this a little bit, creating the apex that way, inflating this a little bit only, Tuki. Have this here, and the nose that goes back, eye, here the ear, Tuki, Tuki. There you go, boom, boom, cool, awesome. And then if we play this, boom, it's like roar, 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 vroom. And here on this drawing here, I can totally add this eye eyeline there, eyelash, whatever the name of that shit is, Tuki. And then we put this other one over here, Tuki. Awesome. Play. And now I can add some asymmetry here. For example, this frame could go up, this one go down, then this one could go up, this could go down, this could go up and that way, and this could go down one and that way. So I'm adding some asymmetry there, some randomness in the movement. Roar, 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 roar. And then here, when we're going down, let me disable the on skin. When we're going down, I can squash this even more. Oopsie. I'm squashing that even more, and then Toon, when I'm having this overshoot here, I can push that up. Keep this on twos. Go in here normal. And then here, we can push all of this even more. So we end up with something like this. Cool. And then I can put all of this on twos. Oh, I like it on ones. Cool. I would like to hold this even more. So I'm going to put some space here. There you go, beautiful. Awesome. Now let's time to animate the other dude. Time to animate the other dude. So the other dude, Johnny Rough. Yeah, the rough. So we're having something like this. Tuki tuki. We have this, 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 we have the arm. Tuki, and we have the hair. Tucson. There you go. Oopsie. Then we have the hair here. The eye there. Awesome. I have some ideas, some crazy ideas that I would like to try here. So let's see. Let's explore and see what is going to happen here. Cool. Wait. Cool. Let's see what we're going to do with this dude. Tuki Tuki and Tuki. I have an idea of something crazy. Let's see how crazy this will be. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this dude go like this. The hand will be like that. Taka, taka, taka. So we'll be facing a bit towards camera here. So this part of the skull will go that way. Skull. Tuki, Tuki, Tuki. The choker will move that way a little bit. Tucson, Tuki. Boop, back. And then here, this will go that way. So boom, 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 boom. Adding more volume here that I'm losing volume there. Boom, the arc is going that way. I might move this a little bit towards the front, so it feels like it's foreshortening. And then here I'm going to throw that arm up. And then here doing some crazy drawings to show that this dude is mad as fuck. Okay, lose yourself. So Tuki. So we have here the mouth. We have here something like this, Tuki. The arm will fly there. We have the choker moving that way, Tuki. Move that a bit more up. Awesome. Move this down. Awesome. Tuki. So we have like this. Boom. Rawr. I want to move this even lower here around there. It's like boom. And here I need to slow in towards this pose a bit up. And then the hair here, up, up, up. Two keys, something like this. And then this I can rotate a little bit up. Two key. Two key. There you go. That one looks badass. Shoom. I can move these ears a bit towards up to have more space here to stretch it without overlapping with the belt or the collar there, the choker. Cool. Boom. Then here the arm could do something like this. Move up. Move up. And like this towards the inside. Tuk, 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 tuk. Then we need the arm to slow out. Oopsie. We need the arm to slow out from here. Like that. Tuku, 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 tuku. Tuku, too much. Too little. Tuki. Tuki. And then here, I can copy, paste this one here, go back, open more, open more. So here the tongue could be something like this, Tuki. And then boom, we bite again. And we jump towards this frame over here. Bam. Now something different is like first I need an in between here. It could be on ones. So I just want to show how this dude here bites the arm, and then the fingers could be like, and then this could be the exact same frame that I have after, but the only thing that I'm going to do is push the teeth layer up. So we have this smear frame of the teeth here, Tuki, and then we go down. We go down again. We go down, down, Tuki. So we have, oopsie, oopsie. No, no, don't play it. Oop. So here we can progressively move these ears down. Tuki. Up. Up. Boom. You can maybe open that eye for a little bit. Then we have something like this. Tuki, tuki, tuki. Boom. Look at how much I can stretch that. See, beautiful. Now the energy is going to make this part overshoot here. No, 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 no. Now here I want to slow out from this frame and this frame. I need to polish this frame a little bit more before in between there. So let's fix this frame so it actually looks like it's looking towards the front. So see how I'm using the same amount of lines that I have. This is a C, this is a C. But it's only here about moving some apex of the lines just to show that the character is moving now towards camera. Here, for example, I'm adding this extra line to show this is the center of the character and it's going to point the head towards camera. Oopsie. Awesome. Flipping, flipping, flipping. Here I want to make this a little bit more soft this way. There you go, teeth. Now we have the arm going that way. So this could be something like this. Tuki. Tuki. And then here, more space here for the hair. This line will move forward. This line will also move that way. Tuki. See how I'm reusing the same amount of lines. And I'm tracking the spacing at the same time that I'm doing that. Tuki. Tuki, there you go. And then as it is going towards, let me move here. I'm going to reveal this part of the hair more. Going to reveal this part of the hair even more. There you go. So boom, boom. We're going this way and also rotating the character that way. So here I can push this part of the color this way. So it feels like I'm revealing, even though it's a very flat shape. Tuki, tuki, tuki. Awesome. Then we have more information here. More volume here. Awesome. Tuk, 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 tuk. Here, this line is a little bit straight. I can totally curve that. Awesome. Tuki. Awesome. Puku. And then I can grab all of this. Squash it. Move it. Then boom. Now here, from here to here, I need to slow out. And I need to in between these two. So let's do that. Let me bring the color card here so I can see more. Look at that. So in order to in between these, for example, I can use the shift and trace. I'm going to show you how to use the shift and trace. I can select this black arrow here and select the, for example, I want the middle of my nose to rotate in this way. So I want the middle point to be around here. So I'm going to grab the shift and trace tool that you can right click here, and you can enable here shift and trace. Shift and trace, and then this tool will appear. And the only two buttons that we're going to use is the black one and the white one here. So I'm going to select the white, the black arrow, Command or Control, and select the onion skin. Then move it. There you go. And I can in between here, or I can just find the best middle point between these two, and then freehand the movement of this. So tuk tuk. So this will be something like this. I'm always flipping because it's sometimes confusing to just do this by relying on the onion scheme. For example, I'm seeing this point and this point, and where is going to be the middle between these 2 points? It's going to be around here, and that's why I'm flipping to create those arcs for each part of this. And then tuki tuki, for example, this point and this point, where is the middle? Around here. And that's something that I'm able to observe as I am flipping all of this thing. Look at that. So here, for example, I want this dot to be higher. Cool. And then here the nose, revealing that part. And then here two keys, something like that. Here something like this, something like this, and like this. Now this back part will be something like that. Awesome. Awesome. And then from here I can release the shift and trace. So I'm going to use this tool. I'm going to release the shift and trace so everything goes back into its normal position. And now I can see all the crazy stuff that I did. See? For example, one of the things that I'm noticing is that this head is staying there in the top part is staying in an invisible wall there. So I want this to start moving down. So I am manually moving down that. I'm dragging this lower part of the ear up so it feels like it's dragging down. Tuki, and then I'm flipping. For example, this is the top part of the mouth, this is the lowest part of the mouth, and I'm also tracking the width of this. So around there, Tuki. Oopsie. Here. Awesome. Here the choker could be something more subtle. The choker is something that I am not that worried about because the choker is easy. A Toon will give me an in between, so I'm not too concerned about that one. The more control that I need over this is here. So here an arc, Tuxi. Here Tuxi. Maybe I can just grab this. Oopsie, and move it like this. And then progressively is rotating that way. Now let's do something with that hair. Moving that way. Awesome. There you go. We are going that way, and then yeah, on three that will be cool. So tuk 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 and boom. Let's see how this looks like. Hoopa, rum, rum, boom. Oopsie. Roar, 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 roar. Yeah, enough frames. If I need more fluidity, I can always do that with the rig. Tuki tuki tum. What time is it? 1 hour. Conscious. Boom. I'm chilling here, so it's okay to take some time. So it's like roar, boom, roar, boom. And here I want this pose to move towards the front, squash, do something like that, and then go back to the normal pose. Cool. And now here, in order to make this movement interesting, is that I need to come up with a breakdown that will give me the illusion of interesting. So it's like roar, boom. So here, for example, is boom, bite the thing, can stretch the ears. They can even delay, drag this part of the nose. And here I can change. I can move this part of the arm, so it's also dragging there. And the arm could be the hand could be like look at that. Look at that. Boom. So we have boom boom, and then this is an overshoot, but still I need to slow in. I need to slow in here. We move this down. So this will look something like this. See how I'm using the shift and trace to move these parts of the character. And then here I can release a little bit the drag of this top part of the mouth. Tuki. Then we're going like this, like this, like this. Ta, 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 ta. Boom. And then here, this thing is going to bounce back here like that. It's going to bounce back there. Boom. Cool. Boom. And then here, this could be something like this. So all of this goes down. Release the shift and trace, and track the neck. Track the neck. So this is a slow in towards the lowest position. I can grab this choker and move it that way. Took some tune. So we overshoot there. I can go a little bit down. Overshoot, slow in, and then we go up. Cool. Overshoot. Oopsie. The oopsie. Overshoot. Slow in. Tuki. Tuki. And then we go back. And in the back, I can do some crazy stuff with the ears. Let's see how this looks like right now. Boom. Cool. See, it's different that I've just if this adding motion. Let me articulate my ideas. I had two options here. I could totally do this like, but that was going to look very, very, very cut out, very, very cheap. But the moment that I start adding more elegance, that I'm adding more roundness in the movement, adding these extra frames that I'm adding squash and stretch, this makes the character feel more alive. Mm. So always consider that. Cool, Tuki. Vroom. And then what else can I do? This is the point of all of this. It's like, what else can I do? It's like I'm imagining, and whatever I'm imagining, I am, boom, making this appear in the animation. And that's the joy. It's like playing an instrument. At the end of the day, it's like, you know what? What else I want this crazy three-headed mutant chihuahua to do? And I just imagine, then I discuss with myself. It's like, yeah, maybe this is a good idea or it's not a good idea. But the thing is, like, I'm imagining and I'm bringing that to life. I'm not limiting my imagination by the skills that I have, because that's why I work harder. That's what I worked for a long time to polish my skills, to learn all of this raft. So I get to this point in which I can enjoy the animation process and not feel limited by it. Boom, boom, look at that. This moving towards camera, pushing that, throwing that arm towards the air, boom, biting, down, down, poke. And then here, because I only need an in between, I can align the back part of the head, put it together, and then just flip and come up with an appealing, beautiful in between. So tuki tuki tuki. Hooray, but it's like you're almost animating this traditional. No, because the traditional, like, this is just a rough pass. This is just a rough pass. Like, the amount of work a traditional animation takes in order to bring this to completion is much more. It's much more. I have a video on my YouTube channel that I recorded of one of the chihuahuas before they morph. One of the chihuahuas falling into the ground, and it rotates, and then the booty is bouncing around. You can see there how much attention we need for the title on each individual line. Because this is a rough pass, I am doing things very messy in some way, but because I know that eventually I'm going to use the rig on top, and the rig will take care of all of those proportions issues and things like that. Tuki 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 tuki, boom. Ear. And I could totally leave this animation to just one pose and move, do some basic loop around. But yeah, sometimes I also don't like to do my stuff like when I I like to put some love when I'm working on these projects of mine. Tuki tuki tum tum, and then here, boom, slow out. Then I'm going to draw here something in the middle. This is the in between. But now after drawing this in between, I will need to add a slow out from this pose to this pose, and a slow in from this pose to this pose. So I'm already thinking all of that in my head. All the things you said, all the things you said, run into my head, run into my head, tuki tuki tuki. And then here I can copy this head to have something already similar to what I did there. I can maybe stretch this Maybe flip this that way. Yeah, and then we're going that way. All the things you said, all the things you said, run into my head, run into my head. Poop. Cool. So June, June, June. Look at the arc that I'm creating here with this hand. Boom, boom, and then boom. We're going that way. Boom, and then we're going this way. Tuki tuki. Cool. So I'm always looking at those arcs as I am drawing. Cool. Now I have the in between. This is the in between. But now I need a slow in here to this pose, maybe a settle, and then I need a slow out from this pose because we have a slow in, overshoot. Now we're jumping back. I need a slow out there, or maybe not because I wanted to feel fast. So maybe no, and I can just settle towards the final position. Let's add that slow out. Yeah, we're jumping too much. All the things you said, all the things you said. So in order to try if I need a slow out or not, I'm going to copy and paste this frame here and move it a little bit up. There you go, something like that. Now let's see if I really need it or not. Feels too even, so I might not need it. I will jump. There you go. Yeah, down, 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 down. And here I need to slow out. So time to flip again. Sorry, but why you don't let Tumble into a slow out for you? Oh, because this slow out can also give me the opportunity to add some more roundness in the movement. And yeah, because I also want to. I want to. And this is what I refer to a complete rough pass. This is what I refer to as a complete rough pass because I remember when I had my mentors, they used to tell me I am always talking like this. My mentors, my mentors. It's like they will never check my entire animation if I don't have it complete, like complete animation, complete rough pass down. Because, and this is something also when people reach out to me, it's like present me a complete rough pass wait, because I cannot give you too much review with a work in progress. If you have a rough pass, for example, and you only drew the head, the body of the character, but not the but not the head, for example. It's like, can you give me a review on this? No, because the head is an important part of the character that we need to look at. Like we have to look at the drawing at the a drawing completed with the head, with the body, not only not only just the body. So when you approach drawing as a complete, I'm already talking shit. Like if you're animating a character, draw the entire character. If you're animating the character, draw the entire character. If you're doing an animation, complete the animation, not just one part of the animation, but the complete animation. So every time that you ask for someone feedback, that person can give you more complete feedback than just being like, "Yeah, I assume this could work." Once you add the head, so it's like, make the person who you are asking for feedback life super easy by having a complete rough pass, a complete character round. Vroom, vroom. So I like that. So vroom. Now here, for example, I can add a peg and I can add more animation that I didn't with my duration animation. For example, here I am going that way, down. We're going down, normal position, down, up, down, squash, normal position. So here, for example, on this squash, I can push the squash. Here I can push the squash. Here where we are going down, I can rotate this character down, push these down too. Then here where we're when we're going up, I can totally stretch that up. So I'm pushing this even more. If I need to reduce that, I can reduce that, of course. Bam. Cool. Bam, boom. And here, for example, I want to add a movement down. I can add a movement down there, so it feels more alive. Boom. Cool. There you go. Vroom, vroom. Also, now here I want to add 3 frames. Now, what else? What can I add here at the final part of the character? I can be something like That's an idea. So let's grab here the character where I already drew the head rotating. This one might work. I'm going to come here at this one here, but this time I'm going to align this at the same level so it's feeling like it's going that way on. Cool. I can copy and paste this. So we're going to have some interesting animation here. All the things you said, run into my head, run into my head. Tuki tuki. So see, it's moving that way. So now I can even move this a bit that way. Tuki. No, 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 no. I can totally do this manually. Roar, roar, roar. So here in the middle, I can drag a stop. So I want this to feel like far, far, far. And if I'm imagining this in a slow motion, I feel like we can, let me reduce the amount of this brush. I can totally drag this that way. So I'm flipping and I'm feeling the movement. I'm flipping and feeling the movement, for example, here. I'm making all of these parts drag. So I'm pushing that way, I'm pushing this that way, so it's dragging. It's dragging there. Here, I have something like this, Tuki. It's dragging, taka, 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 taka. And now the arm, I'm seeing the arm here as a line of action. So here, for example, this could be something like this. And here could be something like this. So here I'm creating this arc. Look at that. I'm creating an arc there. All the things you said, all the things you said, run into my head, run into my head. Cool. And then we have something like this here, Tuki. More feel like an S, so it feels like it's dragging there. A little bit more that way, Tuki. And then here we have the hand dragging, dragging, dragging. Tuki, Tuki, Tuki. See, boom, dragging, dragging. Pumbaa. And then this one, the hair. I'm always flipping. I will never get tired of saying this. I'm always flipping. All the things you said, all the things you said, run into my head, run into my head. Boom. Boom. And here, Also dragging that way to key. Oh no, it's that one. We're going that way to key. The hair, I can always keep polishing the hair as I progress on animation. Tuki boom. Okay, bam. Something like that. My it's hurting too much time sitting down. I'm going to wrap up soon. And then here, okay, this frame goes here, Tuki, that way. And then we're going back to this frame over here. But before going to that frame, I need an in between. Now dragging the opposite direction. So let's look at that. So we have like, vroom, vroom. And then now we need to go to the other side. So here I am dragging now towards that way, towards this way. Look at that. Tuki. Tuki. I'm also looking at this negative space here as a shape to track. Boom, bing. Yes, safe. Safe. Otherwise, I'll spend a lot of time is for nothing. Tuki. And now this will go like that. Tuki. Tracking these shapes. Here, for example, I can drag that way, that way, that way, that way. All the things you said, all the things you said, run into my head, run into my head. All the things you said, all the things you said, run into my head. So, Toon, Toon. Toon. Poombis. Super fast. Super fast. I can always go back and fix or add more animation to this stuff. Just to make it more sense, make it more sense with animation principles. There you go. What we have? Roar, boom, 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 boom. Oopsie. What the heck happened here? The mouth is going down. Here I'm having some issues. This will go down. This is going too much towards the back. So I'm looking at the spacing here. That's something that I can keep improving as I move forward. Boom. Cool. So now let's mark this as a keyframe, and then I'm going to copy and paste this, copy and paste this, and let's see how it looks. This looks like, and if it needs some improvements, I'll add a peg and improve that on top. Yeah, I need some improvements. I don't like the motion because it's like, maybe I need less. I need maybe more time here. Maybe here it can turn after divide. Nah, maybe. Let me go back to what I had. So we have roar, roar, roar. Vroom. Nah, I don't like that. Roar. I want this to be like roar, but I don't want it to grab too much attention. So let's see. Tuki, tuki, tuki. Yeah, I need to slow in here and slow out there. Que pereza. Okay, let's go. Let's add another frame there and another frame here. Tuki. And let's add this slow in here so it doesn't feel like tack, 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 but it feels more soft. And then I'm going to add more frames. To drag. There you go. I will put more attention into this hand animation later. Just some lines to represent what the heck I'm doing here. Okay. Cool. So we have the slow in. Oh, now the ears. Tuki tuki. I need to duplicate this because I need to change the ears here. That way, tum tum. Chun 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 chun. Fum 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 fum. And then here we're going that way. Tuki. Chun 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 chun. Slow in here. Tuki tuki. Boom boom boom. Going slow in out from here to there. Now you know what? I already need to move this up. Boom, boom. Shun, shun, shun. Boom. Looks like this looks badass. I need to move, change this direction of this. Cool. And this one, tack, tack, tack. Now here, need to duplicate, duplicate. Move it here. something like this. Tuki. Touching an invisible wall, so I have to push that a little bit more that way. So tuki tuki, tuki tuki. Duplicate. So here I have to duplicate this loop. Okay. Tuku 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 tuku. Here I'm going to change this into something like this. So I need to go to that end into this pose. Here, move it that way. And in between in the middle. Okay, let's wrap this up. Cool, let's see. What do we have? Roar, roar, roar. Roar, roar, roar. I'm not a fan, but I can do something here with the pegs to add more squash and stretch. Roar, roar, roar. Roar, roar, roar. Roar, 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 roar. Maybe I can duplicate this. Add this here, put it here. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Tuki. Now here I can move this one over here, Tuki. Then moving back. Let me open, just selecting this, tuk, tuk, then down, tuk, tuk, roar, roar, roar. Better, more motion, roar, roar, roar. Now on top of this motion, we're going to add some up and down movement to push that animation, roar. Or rotating down, for example, round, up, up, down, down, up. Run, 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 run. Let me twin this even more. Tuki. Too much. Too much, but I like the idea. I like the idea. So, in order to reduce the amount, I will just grab some frames here in the middle and drag it here, frames in the middle, drag here, frames in the middle, drag here, frame in the middle, drag here, frame in the middle, drag here, frame in the middle. Pook. Better. And now, in order to avoid it look like tack, 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 I'm going to add some slow in, slow out, 22, 22, 33, 33. Normally, I put these pairs just to make it easier for me. 33, 33, 22, 22. I'm the worst explaining this stuff right now. 33. Tuki. Boom. Rah, 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 rah. Look at that. And then I can just cut all of these into twos. Tuki, 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 tuki. And there you go. If we get rid of this, have more movement. That's what I wanted. Book. Okay. So, and then on the hair, I can totally add more animation. I can do a rough pass separately from the rig. I can do a rough pass, and in that rough pass, I can add more animation on the hair. Even on the arm, I can do something like this. But for now, it's okay just to have an idea of what I'm going to animate on this scene. Cool. Roar, taka 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 taka, roar, taka 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 taka, roar, taka 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 taka. Cool. Now let's draw the body on another layer. Body. So I'm going to draw the body here. So we have the let me increase thickness, and we are finishing with this one over here. Tuki 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 tuki. So that's why I like to work in Toon because it makes my workflow really, really, really fast. I can put pegs on top of drawings if I don't like how the rough pass or animation looks, and that will help me to push some of the stuff. Oopsie, I don't need to draw that one. That will help me to push some stuff and work faster. But yeah, if I were to animate all of this traditionally, I'll have to put more attention to my rough pass, so it actually have all of these up and down movements that I am not planning, but that I always like to add. So yeah, in cutout animation, because I'm working most of the time in with rigs animations, I divide my thinking into the way that you're seeing how I'm doing my rough pass. But when I'm working in traditional animation, it's very important to plan all of those up and down rounded movements before before committing into a drawing, because otherwise I will have to just redraw all of that again to add all of those up and down movements. But it's not the case for today, because today we were saved by the pegs in Toon Boom Harmony. This could go the other way. Not too much movement here. So this and this, this and this, tack, tack, tack. So I have the leg doing that, tack, 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 tack. And I'm just adding 2 frames here because I can totally do that manually with Toon Boom, with the rig. Tuk, 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 tuk. And here I can, for example, maybe I can duplicate this and move all of this a little bit that way. I can squash here in the middle. Squash this a bit more, not too much. And here in between these two, tuki tuki tuki. Something like this, tuki 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 and tuki. Okay, so we have tan tan. And then tuki and tuki. Oopsie, no, oopsie, what the heck I did. So this is the main frame. Mark this with the key. and then an in between here for this. Like just this. I'm doing this because I want to see the full rough pass of the entire character, and not only the heads. So for my visual appreciation, I'm adding these frames here, this extra time. Cool. Ton 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 ton. Last time here, last time here. And with the arm of the robot, I'm going to add some little animation there. And then slowing the time in here for the final movement. Tuck, tuck. Now here I want you to feel like tuck. Want to hold here, tuck, 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 tuck. Hold here, tuck, 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 tuck. Tuck. Tuck, 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 tuck. Cool. Tuck, 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 tuck. Now let's reveal the other parts of the character. Look at that with the color card. Tuki. Cool. So there's a lot of stuff happening here. We had the heads moving. We have the body moving. What if I do? What if I keep doing those like throughout animation? Yeah, I want to create a camera here. Put a pivot point here in the camera. Move this back a little bit. Move this. Open the composition a little bit more. Cool, because I want to do something here. On this rough animation of this head, I want to move it up. There you go. Cool. Boom, 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 boom. And yeah, that's it. That's the animation. I will add more stuff if I need to on the rig animation here. For example, I want to add more stuff. Like I want to I want the body to add some roundness, to add some rhythm here. So here, when the character moves up, I can totally make this character jump a little bit up. And then we're going down when he catches the thing. We can overshoot here even. And we can overshoot towards the front, towards the side of the character that going that way, tack tack, and then we go back. And then here when the character is going up, bite, and we can do this, and then we can go back to the normal pose here, which I think is somewhere around here. Yes. And then we can just add some movement following the motion of that character. And then we twin all of this. We twin all of this. Tuki. Oh, you're not seeing what I'm doing? Tuki. And then I can put all of this on twos or just to follow the movement of the characters in front, on top. There you go, something like this. That's the character. Or you know what? I could do that all of that with all the with all the dudes on top of. So for example, let me bring all of this, put it here. Where is this body MP, so I can connect all of this with that body movement. So everything will move with the body connected. There you go. Now it feels, everything feels more connected. There you go, Tuki. Cool. And of course, with the rig, for example, I will make that influence of this character moving towards the front. I will increase the influence in this leg of that movement, even with the torso. But for now, because I drew everything on one single layer, everything looks together here, right? And here when this character is doing like I can do something different with the mouth. Rar, rar, rar. Rar, boom. And then here, boom. Cool. There you go. Super fast. That's the animation of today. Oh my god. Let me move this down. Can I move this down? Can I move this down? Down. 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 Awesome. Rar, 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 rar. Cool. That's the scene. Now in the next video, I'm going to pose the entire rig on top of this rough pass and yeah, show you my entire animation process with rigs in Toon Boom Harmony. So this is my entire animation process doing a rough pass, and this is how I approach the rough pass, drawing on top of this three-headed mutant chihuahua that I did here. So in the next video, a lot of stuff happening. Let me move this towards the front. Tuki. Tuki, 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 tuki. There you go. And then it's on top of the character. And we can have a happy time animating now that I know exactly the direction that I want to go with my animation. Cool. Hope you like this video, and I'll see you next time. So don't forget to like and subscribe neither, because I'll appreciate that. And yeah, that's the only thing that I have to say. Bye. Hello, hello. So in this video, we're animating these three-headed mutant chihuahua doing this crazy stuff. One is doing like, rawr, rawr, the other one is doing like, oh, and the other one is like throwing the arm in the air, and they're grabbing the arm again. And what happened here? A three-headed mutant chihuahua is going to fight against a giant monster air fryer, and that's the arm of one of the air fryers. So it's going to get epic. So hope you. So it's going to get epic. So it's going to be epic, guys, and enjoy this video showing you my entire traditional animation workflow to create this rough pass animation. Guys, in this video I'm going to show you my entire traditional animation workflow, exactly how I approach a rough pass, one of the first, not the first step into an amazing, great pro animation. Once I have this done, then I can put the rig on top and everything will look super professional. Cool. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to animate this three-headed mutant chihuahua screaming and doing weird stuff. Hope you like it. In this video, I'm going to show you how I animate this three-headed mutant chihuahua using my traditional animation techniques, but more specifically how I approach rough animation. And with this rough animation, I'm going to experiment coming up with ideas and then boom, trying to put those ideas down in the paper as soon as possible. Well, in this case, in Toon Boom. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned some traditional animation and discovered this amazing world of the three-headed mutant chihuahua versus the giant air fryer. Bye.